Welcome to season 3 of the POV podcast. My name is Kate Ranias. Today I might sound a little hoarse, but I had to do the story. Season 3 is all about African stories and African leaders. And I keep on saying they come in different shapes, they come in different sizes, and they come from different realms. The guest today is an African leader in his own realm, and of course, in the acting realm. You've seen him on TV for a very long time, I think, because it probably 7, 8, even more than 8 years, no?
Yeah,
More than 8 years. You've
20
seen him
years actually.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Literally 3/4 of his life. Malik Lemuel, who was one of the stars on Machachari show, was a very popular show growing up, is sitting on our seat today and is going to be giving us a story about his life. He's an African leader in the acting world and also in the diplomacy. We're going to check that out. But of course, joining us and telling us what he's doing with his life now. Karibu.
Yeah, asante sana.
How do you feel?
What an intro. First time doing a podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice space. I love it.
I'm glad I'm the first one.
First
Yeah.
podcast to ever do.
Too many.
Yeah.
Too many, of course. The life of an actor, going to school.
Yeah.
You graduated from Catholic University for IR.
Yeah.
I think it's very interesting. So take me through a day in class.
In university or like
in class? Because I don't know if are you still in school or toka shule.
Nilitoka. Yeah. So okay, I'm a graduate, a proud one actually.
Yeah.
Bachelor's owner, bachelor's degree owner right now. University was okay. My life imekuwa basically different. Kuna primary life, kuna high school na kuna saa uni. Let me start with my primary.
Yeah.
I went to the first school I went to, kindergarten, ilikuwa hata ina jina. It was in South B.
Yeah,
but right now, naonanga inaitwanga Police Band Academy, Jingle Bells. But your time tulikuwa najua ni Police Band Academy.
Police Band.
That's why I grew up.
Kwani ya mapolisi?
My grandma, my paternal grandma, was in the band.
Oh, okay.
Was in the police band with my grandpa as well.
Okay.
So sisi tumegrow kwa familia watu. Najua polisi hata kama ni band, polisi ni polisi.
Bado polisi mpaka siku ya mwisho.
Yeah, so I grew up there, police band. That's when nilianza kulia maisha nini. Then I went to Jingle. Okay, sasa niliona inaitwa Jingle Bells. But at that time tulikuwa nasema yeah, I know. Hiyo time tulikuwa nasema tunaenda shule. And my teacher alikuwa anaitwa Teacher Madam. My father
Teacher Madam.
I swear. My father kitu funny alikuja akaniambia later. The teacher naye alikuwa anaitwa Teacher Sir.
No.
So do you get the correlation?
Teacher Sir and Madam.
Teacher Sir was Teacher Madam's husband.
No.
Yeah. So it's very crazy. So I think my dad, you know, men are different.
Yeah.
My dad wanted a life ambayo inafanana na yake.
Okay.
Because I went to the same kindergarten as him. Then later, nikatoka hiyo kindergarten, went to Our Lady of Mercy. My dad was in Our Lady of Mercy as well.
Okay.
Back in the days. Mi nikakuja Our Lady of Mercy. I joined Our Lady of Mercy 2006.
Yeah.
Nikaka Our Lady from 2006 mpaka 2008. So 2008, tukaanza kufanya Machachari. Pilot.
Yes.
It was not airing on screen yet. It was nini. But before that, I was in Makutano Junction.
Yeah.
205.
Okay.
I did Makutano. Mamangu akakuwa paged for like Nasis. So we had to, you know, mi hata sikuambiwaga. Mi nilikuwa tu napelekwanga set. Siku ingine nikaambia sasa uact tena.
Umeacha.
Nimeacha.
Sasa uko shule pekee.
So niko shule pekee. Nikarudi life yangu, nikarudi ball. Unaona, na hizo tu shenanigans zingine za kitotototo hizo ni nini. Then 2008, here we are shooting a major series that was to come. We didn't know. You know, when you're doing something, you don't know the magnitude of
the pilot.
Of it.
You really don't know what's
you really don't
go.
know the direction. All you just have is hope and belief.
Yes.
That's where we were when we were doing Machachari. So those days when I was in school, I realized I used to have a lot of anger issues.
No.
Yeah, when I think growing up in, will I really call it poverty? Yeah, it was some sort of poverty. It gives kids, you know, people don't know kids have feelings as well.
Yes.
It gives you that feeling of wanting to be there, to exist.
Or you desire more.
Yeah, you desire more. Na pia hautaki mtu akudharau. So when I was in Our Lady, boys used to pick up fights with me because I was really small. You can imagine say natoshana hivi. So imagine nikiwa mtoto. Nilikuwa small.
I remember you Machachari.
Yeah, I was very small.
Yeah.
So boys will come pick fights with me nini because I was really polite nini, but I had anger issues.
Okay.
So mtu akikuja tu ani push afanye nini, mimi na react, naanza vita. So every time principal alikuwa deputy, I think alikuwa anaitwa, okay, I won't say the name because anaweza watch aseme you're saying the most. But alikuwa ngana ananichuna daily, natolewa class na napelekwa kwa ofisi yake, ananichuna.
She's picking on you.
But haelewi, it's not me. It's the kids who are coming to pick on me. So after a long time, my mom was like, I think my kid is suffering in this school. Because I used to have marks kwa masikio nini. And my mom really loves me. My dad was hardcore.
Of course. And then, when you can see your kid having
withdrawal,
quieter.
So me, I used to lie. Mamangu akiniuliza, because my mom is the typical African mom.
Yeah.
Ukichapwa shule, haitaishia shule. Atakuja pia kuchape home.
Allah.
So mi nilikuwa nasema, nimwambie nichapwe. Simwambii. So I used to go home, chill. Anakuja ananiona na tu alama na withdrawals.
Na si amekupiga.
Na si amenipiga. Ananiambia, what has happened in school today? Anaambia tu tumekuwa tu sawa. But shule, mi napiga watoto mbaya. Mtu kuja kujaribu kunibuli. So I left. I left in 2008. So 2009, I joined a school called Highway Educational Complex in South B. The same. Now imagine, that was a private school. These kids are speaking English. I've never been in a setup where kids are speaking English and they're like, and they're very fluent and wow, mi ndio nimeingia, nimetoka Our Lady, tunaitanga Our Lady, nimetoka Our Lady. Kizungu ile ni ya kuandika tu, lakini kuongea, wow. Man, it was really difficult. I won't lie. So like, adjusting was a struggle at that time. So, kids will bully me. I remember, do you know, the funniest thing is, even if you're a kid, you never forget the people who bullied you. Even their faces.
The memory stays.
The memory stays.
Yeah.
And ilikuwa a tough time in my life, 2009. So I used to say, like, hawa watoto, siku moja watajua mi ni nani. Hawajui naenda kukua kwa TV. That was what was giving me hope. Unajua, because I used to tell people, mi nimeikuwa kwa TV, and kids are like,
because of Makutano now.
Because of Makutano. And I stayed in Makutano for a while. I mean, not really long. So no matter, maybe watu wako peak.
And then sometimes you can't notice kid actors when the show is about grown-ups. You see, Machachari worked because all of you were kids. The cast was kids. So let me ask you, being bullied now in Our Lady in early primary, when you were playing the role in Machachari because you had a bully, who was the big Fatso was the bully in the show. Did it help you have perspective? Because this is something you had actually experienced and then now you're experiencing on screen. So
the real thing actually as a kid, you just like, I think it was more of, kids don't think. They don't really think.
Like, they don't have perspective. They
don't have perspectives. Ni kama nikuchukue, you're 5 years old or you're 6. Nikwambie twende swimo. Utaenda tu, hauelewi. But as I grew up, like same nimefika ndo niko like, maybe I was able to deliver this way because of what had gone through that time, But when I was a kid, mi nikiambia ingia set work na Fatso, mi hata ikuja ati kwa mind yangu ati mi ubuliwa shule. Sinajua tu bullying ni kitu mbaya, sasa nafaa kuku against it evil. But it was not, I wouldn't say that I was picking up from perspectives now. It was just, it was just flowing, like, So, but I was bullied a lot, but I used to stand up for myself. Me, I'm not the type of person that I'll say, I withdrew in life because I got bullied. No, I loved it. Mtu alikuwa anajaribu kuanza kuongea na mimi. Ask anyone who knows me from that previous life. Mimi, hata mabesti wangu semanga Malik usimcheze, ni dakika tu moja ya switch.
Who, between mom and dad, who is like that? Who do you think you picked it from?
Mom.
Yeah?
Yeah, but my dad, okay, when it comes to... I wouldn't say anger issues, I'll say angry moments.
Okay.
My mom can get angry, but ye usahau. Like, anaweza kuwa amekujamia sahi, then 30 minutes later akuja kwambia, we, nani nilikuwa nafikiria? Bado amekuacha ukiwa angry, but ye akumbuki alikuwa angry na wewe. But my dad is a type of person, he gets really angry, anaiweka ndani.
I think it's a characteristic of a lot of men.
Yeah. Anaiweka ndani. He'll always not talk.
Yeah.
But to realize this guy is not doing fine. So niko na a mixture of both. Sometimes I'm really expressive, but sometimes I just choose to.
I like that perspective of learning to stand up for yourself because if you don't do that, people will bully you along the way and will take advantage, and it will chip off of your personality. And then you become this shell. Then now we're not able to experience Govi vizuri. And I think that's really unfair. I really want to go to uni. Because uni is really a defining moment for a lot of people. Here comes this celebrity kid in a different setup. Did teachers notice, like, I know this kid from somewhere? How are you able to handle classes? And also, we can see you on social media being popular. How are you able to handle that? Because
so the reason I was actually giving you that background is so that you understand, because my uni life was really boring.
Yeah.
My primary life was Can I finish that? Then I get to uni.
Sure. I have
So
no problem.
I was in highway. So highway 2010.
Yeah.
Machachari promo comes out. Bam, it's on screen. The next day,
Govi.
Like tuko shule, I think tulikuwa tumeenda midterm. Kurudi, people are like, wait, I think I saw you on screen. Hapo ndo ilikuwa the first time niko like, oh damn, was this a good idea? So I went back home and I told mom, mom, hiyo promo yenye tuliwatch recently, unajua Citizen inakuja, when Citizen is putting out their promos, because back then, but now I don't know too much about what happens there, but like back then, a new show was being waited for like this with open arms, because that was the only, kama ukuwa na TV, then we ulikuwa maskini.
You're missing out.
Yeah, you were missing out. So kids hata wangetoka kwa watu waende kuwatch TV kwa watu wenye wako na TV.
I don't think there was any Sunday show that was as big as that.
Yeah.
Because it was you and then in the evening Chachi.
Yeah.
So daytime there was no big show, and especially a kid show.
Yeah.
Kukua mingi.
And that was the first time actually a kid show was happening in Kenya. We broke history.
Yes.
We were the first kids.
Oh
I wouldn't say I was the first kid. I wouldn't say I was the first kid to do showbiz.
Yeah.
But we were the first kids.
Full kid cast.
Yeah. And to act. Because the other person I know is Chris Kamau. Chris Kamau did something, I think, in the 80s, Blue Band, an ad.
Yes.
Yeah. There was no other kid. We were what we want to act consistently, and they're there, and the story is about them. We broke history in Kenya.
There was one, I think maybe you don't know, but when I was growing up, it was called Tausi.
But Tausi was not a kid. Like, it was not... Tausi, mtoto alikuwa hapo.
She was the star of the show.
Yeah, she was the star.
Girl.
Yeah.
But then, I get your point. I get
but
what
you get
mean.
my point. It was not... The story was not focused on
kids and their lives. School, no,
So this comes 2010, the kids were come where we were all experiencing different shifts in our lives. From me to Akina Tyler, to Akina Norman, to Akina Ian Nene, to Akina... We're like, bro, are you getting this in school? So, highway, I go back and I start noticing change in trends.
Yeah.
The kids who used to bully me because, okay, watu walikuwa wanajua nimetoka Our Lady of Mercy.
Yeah.
So they used to say, this boy is from Our Lady of Makamasi, don't sit with him. Yeah. So I remember nimeketishwa huko nyuma. No hate to highway because it also built me, but like the teachers there. But I remember one teacher, I loved her too. She was called Teacher Beth. Teacher Beth alisimama sana na mimi. She realized, mpaka alikuwa ananiambia, don't worry, these kids come from different backgrounds.
Yes.
Wewe background yako yenye umetoka si poa. Unaona? But tutakusaidia mpaka tukuintegrate.
Okay.
I loved her. Unaona? But other teachers walikuwa wanakujanga class wananiambia, enda uketi huko nyuma. Because English yangu inanisumbua. I'm not doing compositions
even
very well.
Even some of the teachers.
Yeah.
That's not right.
And the kids pia wananibully. Do you know I shifted from... So I remember the first exam I was number 27. I came to number 12 and then consistently stayed at top 3.
Oh.
Because I used to go home, mama ananiambia, ini nini umefanya? Tunaanza beatings.
Guy.
Yeah.
Ukianguka.
So, alinisaidia sana. Alinisaidia sana. By hiyo time, ukichapo hiyo time ujuangi. So kids now start wanting to love me.
Yeah. They want to associate with the new kid celeb.
Mtoto akiletewa break, that was the first time nilikuwa naona maham, cheese. Me, I didn't know. Bacon. Watoto ndo wananiletea saa shule ati, Malik, shika, take.
Allah.
Niko like, oh. So all I've been thinking about for the past 2 years, time to 8, ni finally nakuja back on screen. Na nikirudi, nakuja with a bang.
Okay.
Unaona? Na hawa watoto wote, saa hivyo ndo ilikuwanga kwa kichwa yangu. That time, imagine I was thinking that way. Hawa watoto wote wananidharau. Kwanza I used to look at them like this.
Our Lady of Makamasi.
Wakiniambiaga Our Lady of Makamasi. One day, wata bow down to me.
Yeah.
So, it happened. Class 4, I left highway. I remember my mama amekuja shule nini. Akaona. And so I opened up because kuna mwalimu alinigongaga nikafura macho. So my mom was like,
what is it with these teachers?
I know. My mom was like, like we cannot continue doing this. Unajua? But that school was one of the best schools I went to. Highway was such a good school because ilini shape now to get into at least private life na public life. Our Lady.
You have now a different perspective.
Yeah. So I left 2011. I joined Nairobi Primary. Now there, was a whole... Now that one was a different shift. Now I'm joining hapa. That school is one of the best schools I've ever gone to.
Yeah.
Nairobi Primary shaped me in a way that I don't think ningai shape you anyway.
You learned so much.
I learned so much. That's where now adolescence is setting in. I'm a star. 2011, I was a huge star. We were huge. So I went to this school, nimeenda kufanya interview. Bado hata sija join the school. Watoto walikuwa wanapanda place kama hii, wanapanda roof na gata.
I really wonder what that does to a young boy.
It was crazy. I remember my mama amekaa na mimi library. Kids were not allowed to get in with their parents kwa interview ya unaenda. Unajua hizo kufanya exam ndio ujue kama unajoin hiyo shule. Mimi mamangu aliambiwa keti na yeye hapa. Mpaka wakaleta maboys wa class 8 wachunge mlango. Because kids walikuwa it was crazy. I don't know whether I even passed the interview. So I went to that school. Assembly ikifika watoto wanaongeleshwa juu yangu. Wanaambiwa he's also a human being like you.
He's a student.
Nilikuwa natoka shule nasikia Govi nikitoka class yangu nayo. Anyone who was my deskmate would feel that, you know.
Oh my God.
Mimi deskmate wa. You know, si chapa stories.
How old are you at this time?
I'm 11 at that time.
That's a baby.
That's a baby. But I used to go back home na vya mom. Wow. I love the worst thing my mom did while in tupa boarding. So I'm not even leaving this environment.
You can govern yourself.
I'm full on in this environment. So, Nairobi Primary, I loved that school.
Yeah.
I still do till date because it shapes kids.
Kwanza
mkiwa boarding, mnapigana, mnajua madem, mastori ya mlali.
Unajua madem at 11.
We, nakwambia hiyo time, tulikuwa tunaharibika. Mpaka tulikuwa tunapiga mablazer.
Allah.
I'm sure watu watasikia na ni wakikumbuka. We used to put on blazers, tumepiga zile maneno zilikuwa zinaitwa Axe.
Yeah.
Maperfume zile mbaya Axe tunazipiga. Alafu tunaeka hapa ka.
I think you've had too much fun in school.
Tule tu pins.
Yeah.
Kwa blazer na ama tu flowers. Kwanza siku ya Valentine's, it was mad.
Did being in school, how do you handle, class time and recording time?
Yeah, I used to. So we devised a plan. So Monday to Friday, I'm in class.
Yeah.
Saturday, Sunday, I'm shooting Machachari. These other shows, akina Taidia, akina nini, them they were working kama adults. So Monday to Saturday wako job.
Okay.
But sisi, ilikuwa inabidi tu sisi tunaekewa schedule ya Monday to Friday, tuko shule, Saturday, Sunday tuko.
So you don't miss out.
So, alafu mimi nilikuwa ngule weekly boarder. Sasa Saturday, Sunday, I'm going to sleep in Kawasukari. So, bas. Watoto wote wanataka kuwa mabeste. But though, if you ask me, was there envious people? Yes, there were.
Of course.
Especially wale watu walikuwa top performers. I was also a top performer in Nairobi Primary. I've been a top performer all my life. Mimi kikuja kwa masomo. By the way, sisi watoto wote wa Machachari, we did very well academically. Kitabu ilikuwa sawa.
Okay.
So, Nairobi Primary did a lot to me.
Okay.
It broke me. It made me. I cried. I laughed. I made friends who mpaka wa leo tuko mabeste.
Yeah.
I did the most. I created a family.
Okay.
Then shifted. Finished KCPE. Did very well. Got 385. Shifted. Nikaingia sasa Consolata School.
Okay.
Now, we are now in the bougie side of life. Consolata School.
Yeah.
Kids know me, but their ways of interacting with someone who's known is very different.
Because they're a little bit standoffish.
Nilifika class.
They're not with the hype.
They're not with the hype. But it was pretense anyway. Because after some time, but day one, nimefika hivi class, nobody cares. Nimeingia class, it was only one of my closest friends still now, anaitwa Moses Mboro, who was like, yo guys, you don't know this guy.
He's in Machachari.
But the kids are like, oh yeah, okay, I don't know what that is, but
it's a Kenyan TV.
Yeah, it's a Kenyan TV.
Yeah.
We don't do that,
Kwenda
kule ni upuzi.
Mimi
nikakuwa mabest hivi na Mose na boy fulani alikuwa anaitwa Dennis Njenga. Those were my first friends in Consolata, and a girl called Grace Oyo.
Is that your first girlfriend?
No. She was my friend.
Okay.
My first girlfriend nilimpata, I think, nikiwa ile
your mom can hear this.
Ile nasari nilikuambia alikuwa anaitwa Sandra.
Huyo achana na yeye.
Sandra Kita. That was my first, like,
nothing girlfriend about kindergarten.
Unajua dem alikujanga shule and then alikuwa analia. Akilia, mimi nikaenda nikamchuma. Unajua my mama alikuwa hizo nikakumchum. Dem akakuwa manzi yangu tu.
You're giving me reminiscing
vibes. Mpaka tunafanyia na TV class. I do so weird. And
then pure love. That was very pure love.
Very pure. And you're like, you just wanna take care however you can.
Are you taking care of a baby just like you?
And then I went to when nilifika Lady of Mercy. I had another girl alikuwa anaitwa Mine.
You got girlfriends, huh?
Yeah, I did. I was Swahili, but I was top notch.
How many girlfriends have you had
so
far?
Reese.
Let's hesabu sasa. Sharon wa kindergarten.
Sandra,
sorry.
And then,
Sandra is first love. Sandra.
And then
Mine. Mwingine.
Asa wengine tutakumbuka kumkalita. Juu sasa hapo ndo inaanza kuwa serious. Unajua walikuwa. So man. I think my journey, my school journey was really amazing.
Okay.
Because Consolata taught me how to be a boss. Consolata taught me how to have confidence.
Okay.
Consolata taught me how to speak in front of people. Consolata taught me how to belong. You know, because these kids are kids who, Saturday, Sunday, wanakwambia, hey yo, let's meet at Kasuku Center. You know?
Where do Kasuku Center? Where
hey,
it is?
Let's meet at, you know, like mnena mnaongea. Guys, I want to invite you over to my house in Kileleshwa.
Yeah.
Come, we chill, Lavi, Westy. Me, I used to go to my cribs out. Watoto niko like, hey. Then, one day I decide, why not bring the boys to my place?
Yeah.
And they come to my place and they're like, wow, you guys have a beautiful bender. You guys have a beautiful crib. I'm like, oh, okay.
It taught you to appreciate what you had.
Yeah, I'm like, these kids actually, hawana envy kama wale watoto wengine wenye nimekuwa nao wenye walikuwa wananiambia Malik tunakupenda but chini ya maji yaoni. These kids.
But it's such a big step because you see, if you look at maybe people who are upper echelon, have a lot of money, unaenda unakuta magari ni tofauti pale 3-4. Ukuja kwako maybe.
Alafu you never see their parents. Unaona tu kwa mapicha ukienda kwao. Moja kuna
a
friend of mine najua atajua lakini babake ni one of the lead doctors in the country.
Yeah.
Mazi niliendaga kwao unaona tu picha ya budake pale bigi. Wow. Like, okay. Mwingine anakwambia budake ni pilot. Wengine mmefunga shule unaona picha IG ama FB. Mtu ako sijui France. Wewe umeenda Gilgil ama umeenda Taveta. Watoto wengine hao wako you know. Hapo ndo nikaanza kusema I can dream bigger.
Okay.
You know? I never used to take these things as ati mbona mimi siwezi me used to ask myself
ama ulize wazazi kwa nini nao hawajajipanga.
Hapo ndo nikaanza kwenda gadi kuambia namwambia tunaweza kuwa tunafanya hizi vitu. Those kids taught me how to do business. Like unakuta mtu anakuambia yo I brought in the latest Louis Vuitton. I'm selling it. Class watu wanauzia na manguo. You know, shoes.
Entrepreneurial in class.
Kicks. Maze niko like, we used to call it kicks. So watu wamekuja na kicks shule. Wanakuzia kicks. Bruh, this was different. Chocolates za mtu ametoka maybe vacation, ameleta chocolates shule. You tried some different chocolates. So, yeah, ilikuwa pia na downside yake. Anyway, ile design yenye watoto huko wako wanachapwa. So kids will get really unruly sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah, Consolata, they don't beat kids in Consol. Yeah, and these kids also put dreadlocks, they put any hairstyle. Kwanza watoto wa primary. High school iko a bit toughened up.
Yeah.
Huko mnakazwa kidogo, but watoto wa primary wanasema, oh, yo, who cares anyway? Like, ilikuwanga so... Yeah, so then I remember I used to have teachers ambao walikuwa na ile design ya... We used to have a 40-minute lesson.
Okay.
So in these 40 minutes, the teachers will teach maybe 30 minutes, then 10 minutes, they teach you story na how to do life.
Wow.
Yeah, nakwambia, like unafika hapo, kuna mwalimu anakuja anawaambia, kuna mwalimu, na anafunza Kiswahili, then ina shift, Kiswahili lesson imeisha, anakuja anawaambia, now, let me shift back. Let me tell you guys, in this life, there's alcohol, there's sex, there's, you know, you pick your poison.
Children from public school don't get that kind of insight.
I wish they would get that. Maze ulikuwa unaambiwa live.
Because unajua juzi nilikuwa naambia msee, life lessons za darasa ni mzuri, lakini za life, because you're not tupango kwa dunia sawa ujipange. If there are lessons watu wanafaa, hiyo inafaa kwa curriculum. Kaeni muoneshwe venye huku nje kuna kuanga. And how to deal with human beings.
Yeah.
Because we are so heavy on textbook, follow syllabus.
Yeah.
Na maisha sasa ukitoka nani anakufunza.
Then, kitu tu ilikuwa inanibamba. Hiyo 10 minutes ama like 15 minutes yenye imebaki. Mwalimu ana pick one of you. Anakwambia go do a presentation about you. I remember this wonderful teacher I used to have alikuwa anaitwa Bichegi. Bichegi alikuwa anamaliza lesson yake ya Kiswahili. Anakwambia, "Aya, Malik, wake up. Come do an introduction of yourself and what you've learned today." That was super beautiful. I never had that in like my school life ya huko nyuma.
That lesson inaingia ndani kabisa. It's applicability.
And what does that teach you? Confidence. I remember there were girls who wouldn't speak to a form 1. By the time they were in form 2, kienda physics presentations, chemistry, madem wanapiga physics, chemistry, mpaka unasema,
damn.
Unaona? We became confident. Alafu, time ya PE. Unavyo hizi masiku zingine ati mashule wanasemanga, ni PE, tuibie hiyo lesson.
Ni math double.
Ati ni math double, chemistry double, nini. PE mnaenda PE.
For real.
Mnaforsiwa, mpaka mnakumbuka kulikuwa na girls wanasema, I don't wanna do PE. Wanaambia, no, you gotta go. Swimming, you go for swimming.
Yeah.
I loved it. So I reached from 4 tukamaliza, did well, nikatoka nikaenda sasa university. Now uni, oh my God.
Kule
sasa unajua ni maisha.
Yeah.
Nikaenda Kwea Karen. So Kwea, luckily, Corona ndo ilikuwa imekam. Me I finished in 2018. I took 2 gap years because I went back to school in 2020. Otherwise nilikuwa nilimalizanga earlier.
Yeah.
Kitu fani, kitu poa nilikuwa like, unajua sasa chakuwa nikiinteract na watu. Remember 2019 nimeacha kazi.
Yeah.
So I've not been leaving the house. 2019 is when I quit Machachari.
Yeah.
So I've not been leaving the house. Yeah.
You didn't just leave?
Yeah, I'll tell you about that.
Okay.
Yeah. So 2019, I'm like, I tell my mom, I cannot start mingling with people again. That's the time I developed anxiety.
Yeah.
I used to sit like this, naanza tu kushake mwenyewe. I never used to understand what's going on.
Yeah.
Unaona?
Because everyone is coming and just wants to talk to you. Hi, and you also want to have your space.
And now I'm a grown up. Sasa naanza kuelewa vitu.
Yeah.
So I used to stay in the house a lot. So selections zimekuja, nimechukuliwa, niko Kwea, alafu nimepigwa IR, International Relations major na Political Science minor. I'm like, oh my days. Wow. So COVID comes. Announcement ya COVID 2020, March.
Yeah. Kila mtu funga mlango.
So tukaambiwa, sisi tukijoin shule, mimi nilijoin shule September 2020.
Yeah.
First semester 1.1.
Yeah.
Luckily, that same 1.1 tulifanya yote online. So we didn't even know each other. So here we are coming back to school 1.2. Atujafanya orientation ya Kwea because atukonsamka ilikuwa no contact. Ilikuwa inaitwaje no contact?
Yeah, by then no contact.
Hiyo time. Hapo sasa ndo e-learning ikakuwa very famous and Zoom, the like of Zoom and Google Meet nini.
Yeah.
So now tukarudi shule. Now what saved me almost half of my uni years was mask na hoodie.
So, incognito.
I'd come to class, nimevaa mask. Na hiyo time unajua ulizwi. Ingekuwa maybe 2 years back. Yeah. Ingekuwa 2 years back mwalimu angesema, wewe mbona una... So I used to do that a lot. One day I gather confidence and kids are not answering questions properly. They're not doing good presentations. And me nilikuwa nimefanyanga presentations from Konso.
Yeah.
So I decide, why not? So I remember it was Mr. Nyandiga's class.
Yeah.
Alikuwa anaitwa Mr. Nyandiga. Alikuwa anatufunza alitufunza units nyingi in international international relations, introduction to international relations, blah blah blah.
ETC.
So mimi nakwambia nikafanya presentation one day.
Yeah.
And everyone is like, wow, who is this? Hey. Hapo ndo mask ikaanza kukuja sasa, mask off. And people start realizing, kuna wale walikuwa wameanza kurealize ni Govi because nikiendaga lunch natoa mask nini.
Lazima udishi.
They're not all like. So I developed a clique of friends.
Yeah.
Nini nikaanzaga kukaa nao, so walikuwa wanajua ni Govi. But hapo ndo majority sasa of people wanaanza, this is Govi in our class. Envy. Yes, I had friends, but I never really created permanent uni friends because in uni, these are adults. So washakuwa watu wazima.
Yeah.
So anytime mtu anaweza kufanya anything. So me, I used to go to class. Kama class yangu iko from, it was a 3-hour class.
Yeah.
Kama ni from 10 to 1. Nikitoka tu 1, naingia Uber, naenda home. So kids started checking out, how's this kid wearing? What's this kid driving? Ninaanza kujipata TikTok ati huyu kijana uringa huko na tuko naye huku Kwea. People walini abusingi, wananirecord, unaona umeka hivi mtu anakurekodi hivi na unakula lunch ati uboy leo ako mess. Unajua mess?
Yeah.
Mess ni hizi place zenye watu wanakula ati mess. Ako mess anajifanya hapa. Nikinunua KFC, maybe nimetukua KFC kutoka Galleria, nimeitumana imeletwa. Kila mtu anakuangalia. Ukitembea kutoka huko kwa gate unakuja. I'm like, oh my God.
Kwanza the runway, hiyo runway nini ya Katho.
I know. I know.
Treacherous.
It's so long and you cannot even hide.
I know.
You know, but is it a good school? Yes, it is.
It is.
Good institution.
Yeah.
And that's where I graduated from. So I'm always gonna pay homage there. I'm always gonna be, happy about it.
It's very dangerous for a young person to gain fame early.
Yeah.
Because it could build an alternative ego that you are untouchable.
Yeah.
And the fact that you will step anywhere and you could do anything.
Yeah.
How do you get that balance? Because it can be toxic to some point.
Yeah.
Because everywhere you even getting girls is not a problem.
Sometimes I say, that's very factual. This is my analogy. You're born with 2 legs, right?
Okay.
Another person is born with 1 leg. There are things you're born with, and there are things that are taught.
Yes.
So the reason I want to use legs is because when you have 2 legs, these are literally 2 legs, right? But kuna mtu anaweza zaliwa na mguu moja but atakosa mguu ingine. Si anaweza enda ekwe prosthetic and then it becomes another leg. So that's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
There are things that you were born with and there are things you learn.
Yeah.
Personally, I can sit down and say I've never felt low about other people.
Okay.
That's one thing I can say.
Okay.
And the thing that I normally think about is maybe it was inborn. Because a lot of people say, "Ai, Malik unakuwaga mchilled. Yani kwani ujue ni nani?" But me niko like, najua but sasa nifanye na kuna wengine the celebrities will sit with them like this na watakuonesha hao ni maceleb.
Yeah, utajua nilikuwa Netflix.
Yeah.
By the way.
Me, I don't have that.
Could you think maybe it's because you've grown up with an acting mom? She's already on screen. And like you've been around people who have been in the limelight all your life.
That's a good question. But like I feel like, yes, also my mom played a role.
Yeah.
My mom alikuwa kianza, unajua mimi sikuwa na notice na change. But yeye alikuwa ananiita siku nyingine ananiambia leo venye umenijibu I think umeanza kuchange. So unakaa nasema kwani nimeambia mom nini? Nikiwa katoto sasa.
Yeah.
Maybe sometimes angeniambia bwenda ufanye homework nimwambia si saa ama hiyo. So maybe from those small issues, unajua the basic social unit is what? Family.
Yeah.
Before you even reach to a clan, before you even reach to like a community and all that.
Nuclear family.
That's just the nuclear family.
Yeah.
Trust me. Think about this. How you treat your mom, your dad, or your siblings will speak a lot about how you're going to treat other people.
In the world.
You know how I know a good person?
Yeah.
How he or she treats the mom or the dad or the siblings.
Well.
I don't have to see you with people. Ndajua. Nikikuja kwenu nione, wewe kwenu ni mtu wa kupiga manduru nini, makelele nini. Nita expect that so ukiwa na watu nitajua hii ni pretense mbele ya watu. Because maybe there's something someone wants to gain.
Yeah.
I did well in Catholic University. Hata ukifanya IR, you are taught political science, you are taught sociology. So I did sociology, I did psychology.
Yeah.
And in sociology, it really speaks about behaviors. Me, I grew up na watu wetu kikimbiza. Sijui kama unajua hii taya kufanya hivi taya hizo mavitu kucheza bano na kastik. So to me life was beautiful even when I was in my smallest of stages.
Yeah.
So why change it when I'm in my highest of stages and I'm still pretty young? There's a lot to come. Sijui kama umeniget. So if you ask me about ego and if you ask me about pride, ego and humility, I believe humility is inborn, but it can be taught.
It can be
and
taught.
You can notice a difference of someone who has it inborn and someone who's been taught humility. Someone who's been taught humility tries.
It doesn't come natural.
Akona tu a limit to it. So unaweza mfikisha mali akwambia sasa nimekuwa humble sana.
Itabidi hata wewe ujue who you playing around with.
But mtu wako inborn hachokagi. Mi yangu I think inakuwaga inborn. Okay. Sichokagi kusaidia watu, sichokagi kuongelesha watu, sichokagi kuji-express.
It's essential because you know for a young kid to see such big screens and things like that, it can become risky. And we've seen how it goes, especially in the US. And I told you, one of the reasons I wanted to sit across you to discuss about especially that. The plight of the child actor. A child actor starts out very bright. And then they're thrown into drugs. They're lost. They become lost because they had so much money and so much light at the beginning that they could not be able to handle it. Because the attention... Mtu anafanya tu exam hapa Nairobi school and then you're getting so much attention. That's not normal for any kid. It's not a normal kid thing.
It's not,
So I know you've seen it. You've seen child actors go off the rails.
Yeah, even here.
Yeah.
It's just that maybe we want to be politically correct, but
of
even
course,
here it's happened.
I don't like to mention names. And then also I usually say, people's journey is still being written. Wacha tu sikuhukumu sasa. Utajipanga tu. Safari yako bado inaandikwa.
Inaandikwa kweli.
What do you think about that, first of all? The way, the plight of child actors? Because everyone knows child actors, kunaenda vibaya.
Yeah, I love this conversation. I've never had to sit down and like explain what I normally think. But now that we are here, let's try and do like a
analysis.
Analysis na tuifanye upasuaji kidogo. The plight of a child actor. Me feel family is quite important.
Okay.
And look at every child actor who has a present family or a supporting family. Not just present, supporting. Present and supporting. And a child actor who has to figure out life by him or herself.
Okay.
So these are two groups. But sharing a common factor.
Yes.
Acting or child actor.
Yeah. Limelight itself.
Limelight. If you give me the likes of like Coley McLaughlin, the name McLaughlin or Home Alone.
Home Alone, yeah.
If you give me those likes and you go check out his biography or life history, you'll realize there was something amiss. Sika unanipata. But if you come to the likes of, give me a child actor who's still doing it.
Drew Barrymore.
Yeah.
Drew Barrymore is a child actor.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's a time she went off the rails, kiddo. Even Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah. So let's use Lindsay.
Yeah.
Lindsay is still quite successful, right?
Yeah.
But we have Coley who kind of went under the bus.
Now he's stabilized at least.
If you check these people's history, you'll realize it's something deeper than what you think. It's not just about child actor.
Yeah.
When you wake up at home, unaamshwaga unaambiwa nini? Does your mom or dad tell you, I love you, my son or my daughter? Do you get to be told that watu wako hivi na wengine wako hivi? Do you get to be told that drugs ni hivi na hivi na hivi na hivi na hivi na hivi?
Yeah.
Life skills inaanzia nyumbani before hata ufike shule. So you'll find a lot of these child actors who don't have present families.
Yeah.
What do? They start escaping na marafiki. So you become friends na dunia kuliko friends na familia. And when you do that, when I come give you alcohol or weed or whatever people do to entice themselves, utasema, kama Swens, kama Kita ananipatia pombe na yeye yenyewe
ananipenda.
Ananipenda. But here is a kid mwenye ako na familia yake, nini, akiendaga ku party, anarudi home anaambia, wewe tutakulima mangumi. So learn. You learn and unlearn. You learn and unlearn. So to answer that question without being biased or downplaying anyone.
Yeah.
Family is quite important to a child who is venturing into acting or a child who is a child actor or a famous kid.
Yeah.
Any famous kid can be in football,
TikTok star,
can be
whatever. Yeah.
You feel me? Because a lot of times I see people on my TikTok and Instagram saying, huyu ndo alibaki mzuri kwa. You know?
Yeah.
But these guys, sometimes people talk from perspectives zao. Mtu ameboeka maybe kwa nyumba yake, ameingia TikTok amekuona akaonacha nichokoze mtu ndo a reply. But do they know what waking up at 4 a.m. to go to shoot or to go on set means? Do they know that our industry doesn't have a timeline? It's not a 9 to 5. Today you can be on set from 4 a.m. to 10 p.m. Kesho you go on set for only 1 hour. People don't know. So do I blame the audience? Sometimes I do. For people's downfalls. I do because we were not taught how to. From a personal experience, when we were in Machachari, we were not taught how to. Yes, we used to have what are they called? A counselor. A brilliant lady.
Oh, nice.
She used to come. We had a counselor who'd come and speak to us. Yeah, she used to come weekly.
Wow,
and speak to us.
That's nice.
Individual by individual.
Yeah.
Alikuwa anakuja ananiambia, Malik, come.
How are you doing?
Nikiwa kwa set ananiambia, Govi, come. Tukienda tukijifungia, ananiita Malik. Ananikumbusha. Ananiambia, how are you doing?
Because she can tell these are children.
Yeah.
And they're doing grown-up jobs.
Yeah. And we used to even have a matron We used to have a marathon.
Yo, that was really
we
nice.
used to do you know, if I tell people stories of Machachari, watu watakuwa like, aya, pia wakumbe ni watu tu kama sisi. We used even to pray. We used to have CU.
It was like a whole institution.
It was an institution because these are kids, and then pia kuna grown-ups. But were there drugs involved? Yes.
Shit.
When maybe an adult is smoking cigarette and you're 9 years old, you'd want to maybe experience like nasi mbaya kufeel ni kama naeza jaribu. Sijui kama unaniget. Nimeona maybe soundman wangu anavuta kiskala.
Okay, alafu unaweza cheki grown-ups wakikatiana pale.
Wanakatiana.
So, binadamu.
Yeah. Na utawa blame. No, you cannot blame them. Kama sai mtoto akuje hapa.
But then, Malik, it's dangerous for children to see certain things at a young age. There's a lady, I was telling her about one of the shows that we featured on Netflix. And she was like, I'd like my kid to come. And I was like, I don't know how I feel about that because some shows like that one I was featured on, there was a sex scene and things like that. I'm like, I don't know if you want your child to be around something like that.
But let me tell you, I was a kid before. Kids are not stupid. We all were.
You could see those things.
Yeah, you could see. If I was to ask you, like the first time you stumble upon maybe a pornographic content, hata ukiwa 6 years old.
I know, it's everywhere.
Unajua watu utry kuoneshana kids ni wanyama wengine. Na sisi adults ni wanyama wengine. Sasa kids ni sungura, sisi ni malayo. No. Kids are smart. When me and my Machachari people used to sit together, I used to talk about dancehall. We used to talk about Vibes Cartel.
A few grown-up
that
things.
Time Vibes Cartel was really big. He's still big, but we used to talk about, ule dem mina izataka ni rombose. And at that time you're 11. Are you doing anything wrong? You're not.
You're just experiencing
You're just
life.
experiencing and you're growing. You're uko kwa adole.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
So, me ikitu ya watu kusema, not to say it in bad faith, but this thing that people try to say, you know, this is a kid, don't show them. If you don't show them, who will?
No, but you gotta be careful with it. You're gonna have your own kids, and but I know you're around younger cousins. There are limitations because then you can't show them everything because of that. You're not like to listen perspective.
But it stems from an African ideology.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
Kate, hakuna vetu tulikuwa tunaongea. Ukahepa nyumbani, sasa umepatana na marafiki nimekupa pombe. If you were sitting, let me tell you now the plain and simple truth. If your father gave you alcohol at the age of 10, ukalewa mpaka ukajikojole ukapuke. Do you think you'd do that with a friend?
No,
but with a friend,
you've experienced it already.
But with a friend, you're scared because uko like, watanionaje? Wataniona niko chini. So,
and you want to fit in.
Yeah. But with your dad, you never want to fit in.
Because he's your
mom.
Dad.
So, mi napendaga vitu head on. And Mungu akinijalia, when I get my kids, I will not show them ati sex ni hivi unafanyanga hivi. But I will be telling them, hizi ni vitu ziko.
Yeah.
Because shule, watoto class 5. Unaona venye tunajifanyanga ati, watoto wanajuaje hii story. Hata pre-unit.
Malik hapana.
Hata pre-unit mtoto anajua. Trust me, Kate.
Okay, they might know what's happening, but they don't know the details.
They don't,
They know that maybe it happens or what happens. Ama mom na daddy wanamuch.
So mi watu wakiblaming watu ati the Machachari adults were showing these kids a lot. So what? I'm here. You know? And I'm a positive light.
Okay.
And there's also negative light. Maisha lazima iwe na balance. It's because it could
go two ways.
Yeah.
It could go two ways. Let's go back on set of Machachari and the day you quit.
The day I quit, 2019 January. Or January, mwisho wa January.
Kamera zilikuwa zina roll, kijana anasema naondoka.
It was terrible. Where? No, the thing is, I love those people to death.
Okay.
Naomi Kamau made me. Naomi Kamau is the reason I'm here. I'm sitting here today. That was my producer. I love her to death. Flowers to her. She's one of the most iconic people I've ever met.
Okay.
And when it comes to thinking, she is brilliant. But kazi ni kazi. Uwe mtoto uwe mzima, kazi ni kazi.
Yeah.
Mimi, I was 19 at that time when I was quitting.
You had your ID now.
I had my ID. And you know, at that time, I'm making money. So I'm like, so I'm making good money. You know, the thing about quitting jobs, you always feel like, niki quit. Hii pesa si bado itaingia maybe my salary iliacha kuingia June 2019. But I was like, see me, like, kutoka January hadi June, those are 6 months. I can do a lot. Hey.
You're in Corona save.
But no, I quit for various reasons that are kind of personal.
Okay.
But it was just work related. No hate on anyone. It was just like I'd been there for kutoka 2008 mpaka 2019 kuna vitu ambazo tulikuwa tunaongea zichenjiwe.
Okay.
They are not contracts, maybe if you want to see your contract you're not given.
Had you told your mom you wanted to quit?
Yeah. But my mom was I started thinking about quitting. People don't know this. I started thinking about quitting in 2016. The pressure was too much.
That you were 16 at that time.
I was 16, I was in Form 2.
Yeah.
Hey, my mama ananipush usiquit sai. So push. So to 2017 it was poor, 2018 it was okay, but 16 ilikuwa imenipiga pressure kidogo. So 19 ndo tena hiyo feelings zikanirudi, and I was like, this time it's right. And then at that time I won't mention names, but we quit tukiwa wawili, me and someone else, and then we knew we were very big in the country. So anything tukitoa, tuna marafiki, tuna manini, mimi nani sijakutana naye. Sasa we were approached. Mimi na huyo mtu tu. Mimi na
sema jina. Ama mimi nitaje.
Usitaje. Mimi na huyo jamaa tumequit.
Acha mimi nitaje.
Usitaje, tumequit. Tumekuja hapa Tao. Tumekuja kukula. Tulienda hii nani? Jumia. Jamia Mosque hapo hiyo hoteli
Jamia Mall.
Jamia Mosque hapo Tao.
Naziona.
Hizo mahal something.
Kilimanjaro.
Hizo. So we are in Kilimanjaro, we are eating. And that day my mom joined us because she's the one who got us food. And before she came, tululizana, do you think we've made the right decision?
Mshakuita asubuhi. Mmekuja lunch.
Na imekuwa noma juu ya noma. Na ujambia madhe. Nilikuwa nimemguzia tu cause I don't want to enter into those politics, but it was mbaya. It was really bad.
That you guys walked out.
Nini, we are done. So we left. Sasa kufika Tao, let me tell you about reacting. Reacting, ukishakaa peke yako hivi sasa. Unaanza kusema, ni kama upige mtu, then mtu labda alikuwa mlevi, alafu ufike kwa kitanda yako unajua sasa ule mtu tulikuwa tuna bas na kila mwanadamu wako. So we asked each other, unafikiri hiyo kitu ilikuwa right? Akaniambia, bro, the reason tunafeel hivyo inafai tuoneshe hatufai kwenda chini, to push. He's a brilliant boy. He's a very brilliant boy.
So mom comes
kama third party. Na kuja akatuambia, my boys, mimi kuleni kwanza.
Before anything else.
Tulipiga settings. Unajua Kilimanjaro ukiitisha chakula wanaletanga. Tulipiga fine settings. Tukadishi kwanza. That time we were so uncertain of. But tukone ile kiburi. Sisi ni the who's and who's in Kenya. Nani amefanya kitu kama sisi? We're popping.
Yeah.
Hey. After like a week, jamaa fulani tu mkubwa, tu celeb mkubwa Kenya akapiga simu. Nasikia liquid cause bado hatukuwa haiko imetoka to public.
Yeah.
Ilikuwa sasa imeanza, lakini kuingia kwa the entertainment industry space ndo watu wanasikia ni kama maboy waliquit last week hivi. So mse akapiga simu akasema, ni aje, you guys actually have very good voices for radio. Can I hook you up?
I think I remember that part.
Yeah. Can I hook you up? Maybe si mimi nilisema, maybe ni yeye alisema. Yeah. Can I hook you up with a radio gig? And at that time, that radio ndo ilikuwa imekam. So imekuja na
nimejua unasema
imekuja na ubaya. Sisi tunasema tunaua. Mimi ni nani? Akaniambia, bro, wewe fanya hivi.
Ni NRG.
Si NRG. Haiko NRG hata. Ilikuwa ni nyingine. So akaniambia, jua ni mpoko kuplan. Mimi unajua mimi am a good planner. Nini? Mimi ndo natafutanga hizi funds. Nini? Ama places za kushoot inakuanga ni mimi. Akamwambia, bro, say less. Yeye anakuanga brilliant na stories. So akaniambia, hivi ndo tutafanya na mimi ndaleta guest. So we did a mock podcast. Tukatuma emails azijibiwi. Kazi
after umequit.
Na tulisha quit.
Na umequit ukijua mpape.
But bado najua bado iko. So June fikas. I don't have any job offer. Sina job offer, sina anything. Do imeisha sasa. So the last salary ya June, mimi nikasema nini? Mimi napenda the fine life. Kona nunua mavitu, manguo nini. Nimeenda Mombasa vacation. Sasa pesa ikaisha. Hapo. Man, I don't know whether that was the trigger of my anxiety. Because I'd be called to events and then just make up a story. Today I'm going to a certain place. Evil. Because I couldn't face people. Because people have this.
Did you feel like you had failed?
Yeah. For the first time in my life, I felt like, wow, hey, bruh, this is dangerous.
Shit.
This is really, really dangerous. And that time we were still very close with that guy. And
Yeah.
we call each other constantly. And
I don't know why you don't want to say his name.
He was popping. YouTube alikuwa ame. Sasa lakini mimi, I'm not popping. I am.
Oh shit. So it kind of makes you start comparing yourself with someone else.
No, I wouldn't say I was comparing, but I'm like, kwani mimi sifanyi nini right?
Yeah.
I mean, nikajambia, you know what, Malik? I know you're too big. Niajambia kwa mine, but you gotta go back to school.
Do something.
Utachizi mwanangu. Nikajambia saa. That's when I decided, wacha sasa hii kwea tu niende.
Acha nisome.
But then when I joined Queer, nimejoin tu hivi, kazi zimeanza tena kurudi. Tena mingi. I'm doing gigs, money again imeanza. So I slip into using money badly once again.
Oh shit. You're such a young man. Have you learned so many lessons at a young age?
But I don't drink, I don't smoke.
Okay.
But at that time, man, I was having yani I'd take my friends na ambia niaje tuende coast. I was now that guy. Best yangu ananiambia niaje nini pige sherehe. Madam nini. Getting girls jewelry nini. Yani it was because now ile dotene ilikuwa imepotea sasa imerudi.
Now it has filled a certain spot in your heart.
Now I'm feeling like a boss.
Okay.
Wait. So I grew up again. You know, every day you grow up.
Okay.
I won't lie. Every day you grow up. So ikafika 2 point nikaanza kufeel now I need to step up and do a lot. I gotta network more. I gotta have the realest people. So I started cutting down my friends.
Yeah.
I stopped talking to people. Kuna siku hata marafiki zangu walimkujia kwa nyumba wananiambia kwa nini mbaya? That time bado anxiety kwani utuongeleshi, but I have brilliant friends. They try.
Yeah.
Mi hata nikiwa down wanna try. So
okay.
Yeah. That's what happened to me. So all this stardom still continued mpaka leo nini. But if you ask me, are we still close with the guys when tulikuwa now job? Nah.
Yeah.
Everyone lives their own lives.
Yeah.
I'm happy. Sometimes I still keep tabs with some who are great friends of mine, but like some who you expected you'd do life with are not there anymore. And
that's part of growing up.
And that's part of growing up, you know.
Everyone just carves their own journey.
Yeah, and I don't have hate for anyone. Those were that was my second family.
I know.
Yeah, we used to stay together in Kawasukari. Tunapiga hata 3 months. Alafu hizo zingine tumefunga shule labda 2 months. Hiyo 2 months yote tuko job. So tuko pamoja hivyo.
It was another family.
Yani mtu akiwa na shida na demu yake mna hapo. Au ndo watu unaonanga daily. Mtu akiwa na problems
you trust each other because the one you're monani in a different light. You're an actor, I'm an actor. You're equals.
Yeah, you're equal.
So it's not even a competition of I'm bigger, I'm smaller.
And we were showing each other real love.
I really like that. You've learned so many lessons at a young age. I hope you carry them all the way.
Yeah.
You've talked about your father a lot.
Yeah.
And I saw something online saying you were going to visit your father.
Yeah.
But the conversation of you being raised with your mother alone has been also very public as well. Do you feel like there's been a gap with you growing up with him and not with him?
Yeah, definitely. He knows. We even speak. But we're friends. We're boys. Yeah. Having a dad is really great. I won't lie.
Okay.
Men have their own journeys. Same thing as ladies. Okay. Everyone has their own journeys. Ladies, definitely, if you give birth to a child today, as a woman, hata ikuangia, it's just natural. Wewe na huyo mtoto.
Sio wote.
But wewe na huyo mtoto, kama sasa tuseme uko na mtoto, the thing that can hurt you the most is not even your husband leaving.
It's your baby.
It's your baby. Imagine giving birth alafu mtoto wako adedi. But there is a way a father behaves. Baba, I think waliekuanga tuko ile like we provide too. Okay, kuna wengine wako na shortcomings, they don't provide nini but like, do I love my dad? I love that man a lot.
Did you eventually now come to terms with his decision not to be at home?
Yeah, I did.
How do you forgive someone for that? Because it's a lot. You know, you're a child actor, you're a kid. Other than being an actor, you're just a kid.
Having constant conversations and seeing him vulnerable.
Oh yeah?
At first he never used to be. Waswahili ni ngumu sana kuwa breakdown wanaume. Hawaongeagi. Sijui about these other tribes.
Yeah.
But Swahili men are very... Watakwambia wewe siku moja utaelewa. Siku moja utaelewa. Hiyo siku moja haifikagi. Sasa ni wewe ukazi. Yeah, we had a conversation.
Yeah.
And I told him, big man, I love you, man. And he felt really weird. And he also told me, for the first time, I think it was last year, he was like, we were also speaking previous years, but like last year we had a real conversation.
Okay.
Yeah. And even my mom sometimes hata complain, she has all the rights to complain. Na huyo ni mzazi. Na mi mwambie anytime, if you're an adult or a kid, never usiingilia vita za babako na mamako.
Oh yeah?
Never. Wewe you are a seed.
You are a byproduct.
Umeona apple ikipigana na mti. No, wacha mti yenyewe ikitaka kutoa branches zote venye itatoa, wacha itoe. Wewe ni apple. Appreciate you being an apple.
Yeah.
And live your life and learn from the tree.
But kids get caught up in the crossfire because this one wants you to side with this one. It's like, oh, unaona baba kwa venye anafanya, unaona mama kwa venye anafanya.
Ladies ndo ufanya. Hata baba waongeleage tunaona mama yako ni ladies. Ladies huwa ndo wanakujaga wanaambia watoto, wewe baba yako ni muizi, ni anapenda wasichana, anafanya nini. But at that time when you're a baby, yes, inakuhatingi because you don't know the world. I know me, I'm 25 kid. Nini sijaona.
Now you've seen.
Yeah,
but
I've seen.
Sweetheart, there's a lot to see. I'm going to tell you that. There's a lot to see. You've seen, umeona mengi. Kuna mengi zaidi.
Mengi zaidi labda tu nile ati labda economy na shift, president mwingine atakuja, lakini hii ati ya maisha. Ya maisha ukishafika 18 babu ushaishi.
I think for you especially because of the work you did at the young age, you saw things from the lens of an adult.
Yeah.
So you've seen a lot at a young age. I'm really glad to hear that you have a beautiful relationship with your dad, because a lot of people would still harbor that pain.
Yeah.
I think it's really, really great. I want to ask you about your sister, because I know she's in the arts as well.
Yeah.
Do you guys compete kidogo? Is there like a nice, it's competition, but it's,
I always want
nice.
her to win more than me. That's what I always tell her. Every day she wakes up, she knows. Like I'm always positively affirming her. Like I always tell her, Malika ama Masi, nataka wewe ukwe mkubwa atakunishinda. Has she gone through being sidelined a lot by the public? Yes. And she opened up to me last year. Akaniambia, Malik, me always want you to win. You're my big bro. But like sometimes na feelingi watu utaka nikue tu kama wewe.
Oh shit.
And I was so happy she finally opened up. Okay. Stand up place. And then watu watanichukwamia ati tupige picha, then wanamacha squeeze. Na mchukwanga pia nasema even her.
Because she might end up being under your shadow because of the work. But you see, that's the thing about identity.
Yeah.
Kuwa na identity yako mwenyewe ujijue. Eventually she'll learn not even to feel bad. Yeah. Even when someone doesn't want to take a photo with her, because it's okay. That's his thing.
Na ilikuwa imefika point with my sister, unapata ashakuwa comfortable ako like mpaka tukienda Goma anasema huyu ndo the best. Ati if you want a good job, give it to my brother. If you wambia ajitete yangi. Nikamwambia now you gotta do it because she loves me, man. My sister ni mtu niko out, nipo status. Unaona ananiandikia ati pusa hajakunywa maziwa. Na I'm like,
fanya mpango, chafua pesa.
Unaona, like anakuaga, nampenda sana.
It's really beautiful.
But we've also had our fights, sibling fights hazikosi. Design yenye unatry, maybe she's growing up. She's a lady. So when you tell her, usifanye hivi na hivi, anashanga unamwambia kwa nini, kama hivyo. But she's a very different type of girl. She listens. That's what I like about her.
You mentioned off air before we got in that you took up the role of being the man of the house.
Yeah. And
I wonder how those dynamics work for a young man. How can a 24, 25-year-old be the man of a house to a woman who's, the mother? Like, Aje.
We work as a team, my mom and I. Maybe ndo maana imekuwa easy.
Okay.
Unaona, like unapata, obviously, hauwezi ona mamako anavaa nguo zimepasuka. Yani I'm just using a metaphor. It's not that hauwezi ona mamako anavaa nguo zimepasuka. Na wewe tunapitanga hapo na Louis Vuitton na manini. No. Utafeel too.
You have to take care of the home as well.
So definitely if someone wants to come to my life anafaa aelewe. Nyumbani, mali urembo wako unaanza nyumbani. Unaona? Urembo wako unaanza nyumbani. Wewe kama kwenu ni kubaya. Angalia watu wangapi wanaishi Kilimani, lakini always wanaambiwaga unaishi Kilimani na mama yako huko hata hana chakula. Hebu niambie ni aibu gani? I know it's African black tax and all that. People there black tax, African nini, watu wazungu au ukifika 18 mnatupa ati hata mashosho wenu mnaweka kwa homes, but
that's not African of us.
Love. That is not African of us.
Playing that role of being the man of the house at a very young age. What is that like? Like, how do you handle your money? How do you handle dating? It's different. While everyone else is just having fun.
Yeah.
You're paying bills.
Yeah. Having fun I've had, but unafindigi like kuna a lot of back in, like sometimes unaweza kuwa unataka kufanya kitu and then hiyo ndo siku pesa inahitajika home, so unafeel nimejam nini, but unafanya tu na inaisha na mnaendelea. I think just accepting and moving on all the time, as long as hujadedi, as long as ukosi kitu ya kula, you're still dressing up nicely, you're wearing the best of colognes, you're looking fresh,
it's okay.
Mambo ya familia yenu yani mnafaa tu kuigad. Do you know what the royal family goes through? We might never know, but these guys go through hell.
I can imagine.
Nijoezi kuja tu hapa nje kuanika. This family secrecy, and when you guys have a friendship and family secrecy, the best thing ever.
I think it's beautiful. I think it's beautiful to be able to handle life through and through. Man, your journey is so interesting. I can't wait to see, what you're doing, because I know now you are also getting into filmmaking. Other than just, we met actually just here. And I want to see what you're doing right now. Are you now getting into production role? I'm a director. Which position are you taking now?
Currently, I have what I have right now, I have a lounge coming up.
Okay.
A lounge, not a launch. I have a lounge, a club.
Oh, club.
Yeah, a club and a restaurant. So my brothers and I, my brothers, not biological, but like my brothers and I, awesome people. We decided, you know what? Let's divide roles. You handle this, we have to handle it. So it's gonna be the biggest thing in Nairobi.
Ooh,
and I'm also gonna put my filmmaking nani hapo. Yeah, we're gonna be doing our own production.
Wow.
I'm sure mjaona clubs zikifanya vitu crazy. Sasa sisi ndo tutakuwa the first nightlife arena.
Okay.
Kufanya vitu crazy. About filmmaking, I want to start doing documentaries. About diplomacy, because that's also my line of work right now.
Yeah.
Soon people are gonna see a lot.
Okay.
Yeah. The boy is a dreamer. Anaanguka leo anasimama kesho.
Ambition is priceless.
Ni
ya bure.
Ni ya bure.
Water ni bure. Kufanya ndo kazi. Yeah.
I'm
so happy to see what you're doing. I'm so glad that you were able to come out even as a child actor and still make your own name and do something for yourself. It's very interesting. He calls himself a diplomat. I don't know. Utakuwa ambassador. Which country would you want to be ambassador of? Niambia naweza kukupeana recommendation. Where's jua?
Napenda sana Europe. But now the problem
but Europe, you gotta pick one, sweetheart.
But now the problem with Europe is people are very nonchalant. Huko hata ukiamka asubuhi usalimia mtu msee anashanga.
You have to pick one country in Europe. Pick one country.
I love Switzerland because it's the home of diplomacy.
Ambassador of Switzerland.
To
Kenya nishakupenda.
So akinieka Geneva, Zurich.
Uko tu saa?
Niko best. But pia naweza penda places kama za masherehe kama Spain.
Ala.
No, Madrid.
Mwangalie.
Akinieka huko, and for diplomats, everything for them is paid for. Watoto wako wanasomeshwa. But when you talk about diplomat, you actually know what do you know diplomacy?
I understand diplomacy and its roles between countries. Because the relations between certain countries and ours are important. Either for partnerships, for trade, or things like this.
Yeah, because you can go on a mission. You can be an ambassador. You can be a permanent secretary. There's a lot to diplomacy. Even without even studying or practicing diplomacy, everyone is just a diplomat in their own
one way or the other.
Naona kama ndo nikuja hapa ulinipigia simu, that is diplomacy. Communication. So kila mtu anafaa kujua ni diplomat.
I hear you. Your family is essential. The secrets and how you put your family together is something very essential. That is the message from Malik Lemuel, aka Govi wa Machachari.
Yeah, man.
Thank you so much for watching POV Season 3.
Yeah.